If you were going to spend your time on LinkedIn getting something right, one of the most important ones that I would recommend is the profile image. That's this image that goes in this little circle here. It follows you around LinkedIn. It'll be in your search results. It'll be in the jobs that you apply for, in the connections you try to make. Everywhere you go, it's going to be there. So you want to make sure that it looks excellent. It looks professional. And there's a really simple way of doing that I'm about to show you. But first, I want to share with you a common mistake I see over and over, and I'm sure you've seen it too. When you click on this, it gives you an option. Use the camera or upload photos. So one of the big mistakes that people are doing, especially today, is trying to do a selfie. The angles are usually wrong. You can't tell by looking at it how good the lighting is. It just doesn't come off looking correct. You can do it a little bit better if somebody else is taking it, but you have to really know what you're doing to get everything working right. A better option is to have a really crisp, clear picture that you can manipulate a little bit to make it work for you. So one of the most common mistakes I see is something like this. People who work in the defense industry, contractors, military, whatever, will have a lot of photographs that show them in their work environment. And they think that, if I take a picture like this, it's going to show that I work in that, and it's going to be appealing to people. But it just doesn't look good. You need to be more professional than that. So, for example, they'll say, I'm just going to cut out an image here and use it as the basis. So they come up with something like this, and if it's not a nice, clear picture, it simply doesn't work. It looks terrible. For lack of a better way of saying it, think in terms of head and shoulder shots like a profile picture or a passport photo. These are all taken in different settings, but the lighting is clear and so forth, but I still wouldn't use them for my LinkedIn profile. When you reduce the size of them, they're not going to be very clear and they're not going to look as good as they do at this level. A better way of doing it is to find something that you have that's nice and sharp and clear. Something that shows you perhaps in a training class or in a business environment, whatever it would be, but whatever projects the professionalism of your particular background, the career that you're trying to build. So in this case, I'm in a suit and tie at a wedding. The lighting is good, the photo is high quality, it's very clear and crisp. This would make a basis of a good profile image. So basically what would happen is I would take a head and shoulder shot from here, which would end up looking like this, and then I'm going to show you how to do it simply to end up with a photo like this. Somewhere on your computer, probably under accessories, especially if you're using Microsoft, is Paint. It's a very simple and easy use program for what we're going to do. So you just open it up, go up here in the left corner and choose Open, and find the image that you decided to use as your master. Open it up in Paint. It'll be at 100%. You want to keep it that way. Now, you might be tempted to, if you're going to cut out the picture, you'd cut it out where it will end up when you put it in the LinkedIn profile. But actually you want to make it larger than that, because when you drop out the background and then put it in, LinkedIn is going to give you the option to move it around, zoom in and out. So you don't want to be the full size. So you go up here, choose Select, go lower than your shoulders and higher than your head. So you get a nice big square like this. And then choose Crop. You're going to save this image on your desktop. Just call it something like Headshot. And save it. Next, you want to go to a website called remove.bg for remove background. It's a free site and it's really fast and simple to use. When you get to there, choose Upload Image. Choose the image that you chose as a headshot and click open. And what it's going to do, it's going to drop out the background. Very quick, very simple. Now, after you've done that, click on edit. It's going to give you a couple of options here. And you have the choice of a photo background or a color background. So for example, let's say you wanted to use, I don't know, just some kind of image background that they have there. You can click on that and it'll come in. But I can tell you from experience that if you use any kind of background like this, when you reduce the size on LinkedIn, it's going to be very hard to see what it is, and it just looks like it's busy. A better option would be something like this, where you choose their color option. And you have a full range of options here, so you could choose something that fits what you're trying to say about yourself. You might choose something brown or gray, something corporate looking. In my case, I wanted it to pop even when it was small, so I chose black. Once you like what you're seeing, simply click on download and it's going to process it real quick. Click on download again and it'll ask you what you do. In this case, I'm saving the file to my desktop. Then I would simply go back, upload the photo. Sorry, put it on my desktop here. Now, this is the reason I said you should choose it below your shoulders, because now you have the option to zoom in and so forth. In this case, I was sitting at an angle, so I might want to do this. It's just to straighten it a little bit so that it looks a little more professional. You also have the ability to use filters. So you'll have some options here. Spotlight, for example. You just play with it and see what works best for your photo. In this case, I just kept the original because the lighting was good. Then you have the ability, if you wanted to adjust things like the brightness of the picture and so forth. After you're done with that, you can click on who you want to see your profile photo. Could be, your options are your connections. These will be the people you connect to. They're the only ones that would see it. Your network, this would be people 3 degrees down. So they could be someone that's you're connected to, they're connected to, and so forth. All LinkedIn members and the public. In this case, I'm just using the public. So when you come up and say Google search results, your picture would be there. But it's totally up to you about what you want to do. When you've made your choice, just save the photo, and that's it. Now you can see up here, you got a nice clean photo that will show up very well even when it's small.